Tinubu ordered an immediate suspension of any impeachment moves against Fubara, but with very strict conditions.
Welcome back once again. Tinubu order Wike stop Fubara impeachment or face this sanction. Hello everyone, welcome back once again. This is exactly what is happening in Rivers State. Now, as we speak, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being the president of this particular country, has yet again come in the aid of Similayo Fubara and as well calling Nyesom Wike to order. This is a victory come true for Similayo Fubara because a lot of persons have called on Bola Ahmed Tinubu because it is looking as though Nyesom Wike is no longer being appointed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How can he have this effrontery and audacity to talk to an APC governor and even threaten that if he closes down the infrastructure where he wanted to use to do a renewed hope campaign that is under construction, that he's going to break into it and still use it? Look at a former governor talking to a current governor simply because you brought him into office. It undermines the democracy, it undermines the rule of law, and it undermines a lot of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policy, and that is the more reason why he has yet again come to the aid of Similayo Fubara. I'm going to be showing in full context the order he gave to Nyesom Wike, and the consequences of Nyesom Wike not following this order. No matter if Nyesom Wike will be relevant to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's political play come 2027, Nyesom Wike has now been succumbed, has now been defeated by this particular order. I'll be showing in full context in this particular video. As if that is not enough, Nyesom Wike, who has often and always fought with virtually every politician, now have serious confrontation with Makinde, his G5 counterpart. Sincerely speaking, Nyesom Wike came out that he is interested. According to him, he said, particularly in Oyo State, I am interested, Mr. Chairman, let me declare my interest. I am interested in Oyo State PDP. That's where my interest is. That he's trying to state that he's interested in the PDP politicking in Oyo State, that their primaries and how they want to elect their next governor. Now, Makinde came back and replied Nyesom Wike that Nyesom Wike is a vagabond who surfaced fully in 2015 and was expelled in 2025. I'll play the video shortly for you to hear. He stated, ask him what he has done with PDP in Rivers State to now have an interest in Oyo PDP. Listen attentively to Makinde's statement, and when we come back, we'll exactly show you how Nyesom Wike has been succumbed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu's order. Watch, and when we come back, we'll continue.
They grew up grown up. The vagabond in PDP, they grew up in 2015. They had their time, and 10 years, a decade, they practice their vagabondsy in the PDP. But they have been expelled in November 2025. So no more vagabond in PDP. Finally, the government own interest in the PDP lawyer states, own interest in the PDP nationally. Everybody will know where kí ló ti ṣe fún PDP ní Rivers State tó ti wá. So orin tí máa parí ẹ̀ tí chairman á fi lọ court tape tí wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní pé ọ̀rọ̀ wọn tó bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ fún yín pé this and that, orin tí kẹ́ máa kọ fún wọn ní pé ọmọ alákìísà tó ń dúró lóru. That is, they are wearing rags, dancing around in the midnight. They will soon break from them. Thank you and God bless you.
Welcome back once again. Listen attentively to Makinde. This is the Oyo State governor who is a counterpart of the G5 governors formed by Nyesom Wike during the time they were outrightly not with a PDP and they were fighting against Atiku becoming the presidential candidate and even the president in this particular country in the last presidential election. Now, Makinde and Nyesom Wike is seriously on the rift. This is exactly what led to the point where a lot of persons are started stating that tell me one politician and tell me the person that Nyesom Wike has never actually not fought with. He has fought with prominent politicians even within the PDP and outside the PDP. Now, Makinde, that he often calls the last born of G5 and all of that, is now the person he's actually having a rift with, because he wants to bring this disagreement in the PDP, notwithstanding he's dining and whining with the APC in Oyo State. And Makinde is actually telling him that you should face your state. Outrightly, you and Similar Fubara is having crisis, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually come in to warn you that you should stay clear, and at the same time tell Similar Fubara that you remains a political head in the state. Listen attentively.
President Bola Tinubu has again intervened to halt the escalating feud between Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor and estranged godfather, Nyesom Wike. The peace deal came after months of failed settlements that had pushed the state to the brink of governorship impeachment, legislative paralysis, and prolonged instability. The president had previously intervened in the rift between Fubara and Wike in December 2023 when he brokered a fragile peace which broke down soon after, leading the declaration of a 6-month emergency rule in the state on March 18, 2025 by Tinubu and suspension of the governor. However, in the fresh push to defuse one of the country's most combustible political disagreements in recent times, Tinubu ordered an immediate suspension of any impeachment moves against Fubara, but with very strict conditions. Tinubu's intervention came with a blunt message to Fubara. Wike remains the undisputed political leader of the party, whether APC or People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Rivers State, and he must be respected in that regard. Tinubu was said to have clearly told Wike to back off any impeachment plots against Fubara and allow governance in the state.
Come back once again. You've listened attentively to the directive that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually issued to Nyesom Wike, that he should outrightly stay clear. As a matter of fact, not plot any impeachment notice to Siminalayi Fubara, because he remains the governor of the state, and moreover, he is an APC sitting governor. On the other hand, a lot of persons started calling the attention of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that this particular, reconciliation is now making it the third time you are calling these both parties. This is exactly what you did previously. Probably you are doing these things because you need Siminalayi Fubara in your political space come 2027. On the other hand, you also need Nyesom Wike. So you're trying to manage both of them to actually get your own interest. But for crying out loud, you are supposed to not even to call Nyesom Wike the political leader in the state simply because Siminalayi Fubara remains the governor of the state. On the other hand, a lot of persons applauded that this will actually foster peace in the state. Now, immediately Nyesom Wike heard this particular order from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he went further to make another statement that is outrightly out of it, to tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu that what you are saying, I own Rivers State. As you could see on your screen, he stated, I will decide and announce who becomes the next Rivers State governor. Nyesom Wike went as far as making this statement. This got a lot of persons so furious that this is exactly what we are talking about. That after fostering and brokering peace in Rivers State and telling Nyesom Wike to stay hot, like call his House of Assembly members to order that are loyal to him not to continue the impeachment process of Siminalayi Fubara and Ngozi Odo being the deputy governor. Nyesom Wike also had the effrontery, had the velocity and the temerity to actually state that he will decide who governs the state come 2027 in the next governorship election. That undermines the democracy. What it is trying to play is the fact that when the masses come out to vote, their vote probably will not count, because Nyesom Wike has often and always bragged that as for presidency, we'll give it to Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC. Then as for the Rivers State governorship race, we will decide that he will direct his co-loyalists to tell the masses what to do. Is it that they are going to tell the masses and the masses will vote out of their conscience, out of their plight? These are the things that a lot of persons questioned and stated that it is high time Bola Ahmed Tinubu called a spade by calling Nyesom Wike to order. Because as you could see on your screen, Tinubu brokers peace in Rivers, orders Wike to halt Fubaras, instructs governor to recognize FCT minister as undisputed political leader. There is no issue with that. Siminalayi Fubara has always stood the test of time to always and often not abuse Nyesom Wike. But for Nyesom Wike to visit virtually every local government in the state, talk down and empower his loyalists to talk down on a state governor is quite alarming. On the other hand, Timileyin Fubara has celebrated because he has already been appointed as one of the members fostering APC portfolio come 2027 election. And these are actually the things that actually happen. I decided to bring this to your view. What is your take towards this particular intervention? Bola Ahmed Tinubu has intervened. This is the third time. What is your honest advice to these politicians? Remember, there is an adage that states that when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. The dividends of democracy that is supposed to reach the rivers people are quite undermined because Timileyin Fubara is actually distracted because he's trying to protect his office, he's trying to protect the seat of the governance. He's also fighting these loyalists, House of Assembly members, local government chairmen. All of them are actually loyal to Nyesom Wike. And at this point in time, get to the comment section, advise Nyesom Wike appropriately, and advise Bola Ahmed Tinubu on how to handle this matter, notwithstanding that he both need them come 2027 governorship and presidential election. This is exactly what I decided to bring to your view. Don't forget to share, like, and also hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and click on the like button so let's get informations promptly when we drop them here. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.